Yes, people, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world, here to talk some more transfer news. Your favorite, everyone's favorite lately, if you're not winning a trophy like my club. But other than that, please smash the like button, subscribe. It's all important. And also, everyone's got channels on this panel today. So please, look, you can do a little screenshot if you want to on your phones, because I know none of you read the description. I know. So if it's there in your face, pause, and all that kind of stuff, don't take it too and just say what you need to in the comments, weirdos. And then you can go and search them up on YouTube. Today we're going to be talking about Frimpong again. I think we're going to get the here we go today. It's kind of obvious, when Fabrizio does that thing where he keeps adding timers and love hearts next to the on top of the quotes he's already made about 14 hours ago, let alone 6 hours ago. That means it's probably imminent. And there's also talk about Ekatike might be next for Liverpool in line. Rodrygo's a good opportunity as well. Liverpool eyeing that up. So that's interesting. Man City are going to bid for Reijnders, which is sickening in my eyes. Sickening. Reijnders. Oh, God, man. I don't even want to think about that. Big clubs do what big clubs need to do. And then, Saliba staying at Arsenal. Real Madrid giving up pretty much for this window. So that might be some good news for some people. But, Sava, my prayers were answered yesterday, and I know you was addressing it this morning on your show on Football Heritage TV. Subscribe, people. Kulusevski won't be in the final, and that means what? I'm a happy man. No creativity going in that gaff, but when Onana's in goal, trust me, it doesn't matter what's in the midfield. There's always a chance, but how are you feeling now? Like, because I'm buzzing on an injury.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I mean, look, listen, for me, the Kulu news is nowhere near as bad as the James Maddison news because he's our creator. But when you've not got Maddison, you're going, all right, well, Kulu can step in and do that job in the attacking midfield role. Different types of number 10, but, still a number 10. And then when you go, right, well, hang on, there's no Kulu as well. And it's like, okay, what are we gonna do here? And I think we're gonna have to absolutely, I'm gonna use a Deji type word. I think we're gonna have to stink this out. We're gonna have to stink this game out. We're gonna have three very workmanlike central midfielders. We've got workmanlike strikers, big up Mons. We've got workmanlike strikers. We've got wingers that don't do a thing. And now I'm starting to get a little bit like, oh, hang on, I thought we were going to win this final. Now I'm like, where's the goals coming from? So I'm at the stage where I'm like, can we nick out a stinky 1-0 or get this to penalties or something? I do think this is going to be a terrible game of football, though. I think it's going to be an awful game between two very bad football teams. And one of them's got the get out of jail free card. So I think it's going to be stinky. I'm going full veggie. Stinky.
Yeah, Steve says, let's fucking go, guys. Bosh, like the video and like the chat, however it works. Big up, man. Yeah, man. It's like I said, I'm buzzing. I heard Bergvall might be back. Basically, I think the correct term would be we're going to painkiller this motherfucker up so he can be available. And he wants to play. That's like with us, by the way. So it hasn't really gone out on the news as much as the Tottenham stuff. Before we get all into the transfer stuff, Yoro's going to be fit for the final. That's pretty much a given. He's more than likely. I'm not saying 100%, but more than likely. He wasn't training on grass yesterday, but he was actually just doing individual gym sessions. They don't want to risk it as much yet. The Ligt is unlikely, maybe. He's working hard. And then obviously there's Aiden Heaven, which I don't think is going to matter too much because I don't think he'd get minutes anyways. It's probably better not to risk someone like that at the moment. So, and then other than that, Toby Collier's back in full training, has been, to be fair. So, and I like him a lot. He's actually, out of all of them, he's actually my favorite midfielder. So, but he probably won't start anyway.
I think the interesting thing here, Kaz, is Bergvall might be back, but listen, look, football fans have this habit of putting everybody on a pedestal after about 90 minutes of football. I like Bergvall. He's technically very good.
I had a
He's
good
got a
game
good
against us.
engine. He drives forward. And listen, he's definitely one that if we get a proper coach in, gives him a proper position, I think could be a good footballer in a few years. A really good player.
I think so too, you know, at this rate.
Do I think he's the difference between if he plays or not, that suddenly Spurs change the way we play? He's not creative. He's more of a picking up the ball deep and driving with the ball. He doesn't have many. I think he's got like 1 goal, 1 assist all season, if I'm not wrong. So look, for me, do you know what I'd be telling him to do, Kaz? I'll tell you what I'd do the whole time. I would be saying Sarr, Bentancur, Basuma in midfield, Pedro Porro from right, shoot. Test out this dodgy goalkeeper. Take shots. The rest of you get in the box and try and he's going to spill it. And I know that sounds bad, and I'm not downplaying my team. I'm just looking at it, going, where's the link up? Where's the conduit from midfield and attack? I don't see who's linking it all together. So, and you've got that. Whether your fans, I see your fans a lot give Bruno Fernandes a lot of stick, but this guy's number of goals and assists every year are ridiculous. So you've got it. We haven't. I think it's going to be a stinky game. There you go.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do a proper preview for it anyways. This time around, at least Ahmad didn't play against you the other 2 times. Unfortunately, he wasn't even fit for. And the other one, I think he came off the bench, and we ended up nearly coming back. But bar that, yeah, Man City beat us a few times last year. We beat them in the final. But the difference is for me, who controls the game? Always, even you Spurs fans should know this, right? Who is the guy? I remember we had a tight game recently, even last year, and in the end, you end up beating us. Who was the one that ended up dropping deep and just controlling the game? It was James Maddison. He always has good games against us, even for when we played against Leicester City, right? And who's the one who always drives past one of our DMs? Because I remember someone giving Ugarte a tough time. It was Kulusevski. So that's why I'm more inclined to say, oh, hold on. You know, Sarr, Bentancur, and Basuma, that's a bit defensive, isn't it?
Well, that,
you want to
that
play a high
free
line.
played, Kaz. That free played in the second leg against Liverpool in the semi-final of the League Cup. And we went there 1-0 up from the home leg, and everyone was like, oh, this midfield, you know, we're going to grind out. And we lost 4-0 and it was awful. But look, I don't know. I think this is going to be a case where we say, look, have the ball. I think this is going to be a case where we're going to have to say, have the ball, and we're going to try and have to counterattack. The possession game doesn't work without creative footballers. It just doesn't work. So I am slightly worried now, more so than I was last week.
But yeah. Aaron, you've been doing a lot of lives lately. How are you feeling?
You know, bags under the eyes, bruv. Do you know what I mean? I'm not an old man now. And this game ain't fucking young. You get me any younger, I can tell you that.
I mean, Sava's aged about 5-10 years backwards, to be fair. He looks like he's got younger, to be fair.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
I don't even see wrinkles anymore. Someone's got the Botox or something.
They're there, man. They're there. Don't worry. They're there.
Yeah, I'm getting the Gordon Ramsays as well, mate. Don't worry.
No,
but I'm a Spurs fan. Spurs have caused this. Spurs have caused this, man.
I'm convinced Gordon Ramsay's had wrinkles like that since he was born.
Wait, he was a multi-billion. Oh, yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah,
and he's always shouting.
he come out, didn't he, going, it's raw.
That's mad. We said once.
Bro, I'm just here, man.
Gonna get your first Here We Go today?
Maybe.
You get a little bit more excited compared to yesterday.
No, but Frimpong doesn't really excite me. So it's like,
I mean, but when the Here We Go drops, it might change a little. You know,
from a content creator's point of view, I'll have something extra to upload and to speak about. But yeah, the Frimpong one, I don't know, man. That one there, I have to be very careful how I approach that one. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. This either listen, happy Works Day, everyone. You know what I'm saying? I'm more interested in see how that goes. You know, and that's that's me. That's me. I'm more interested in talk about Spurs and United. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I want. I don't want to skim over that even once, innit?
Yeah, like, I'm just trying to skim over that, Cass. Don't skim over that. You know what I'm saying?
What's that?
Yeah, no.
What?
Say that again? What did you say?
I said we're not skimming over that United versus Spurs stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? Kind of just
but the thing is, the game's next Wednesday, yeah, and today's Thursday.
6 days.
Yeah, I know. So I can wait for these previews with Deji or Sava. You know, I don't really want to throw it up too early. Just little snippets, maybe. You know, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, fair enough. Fair enough.
You got, you know, we got Palace versus Man City coming up in what, 2 days? That's going to be interesting.
Cats, do you know what? I want to throw my 2 bob on the final. Yeah, I know we'll have plenty of time to do it another day, but from an Arsenal perspective, man, I mean, it's not a pretty final for me to be in, especially considering our team don't win anything. So to see, regardless of whether it's a second tier in Europe, I'd have took it all day and all night. So to see Tottenham and Manchester United go up against a
Sorry,
don't worry, I don't do the pause thing. I'm not.
I'm a bit old, it's like that.
Yeah, I'm too old. I'll keep saying it. Pause me as much as you want.
I'll take it all day and all night is crazy.
Yeah. I'll take. Oh yeah, that's it. That's what we do. You know what I mean? Pegged and all of that. Anyways, yeah, let's keep it back on track. Yeah, otherwise I'll start going awry. To be an Arsenal fan, listening to, you know what I mean, and watching Spurs and United, as poor as they've been domestically, and they have been very, very, very poor domestically, competing for a Europa final, not just to have the option to win a trophy, but to go in the Champions League, to be seeded in that Champions League, and actually to have another opportunity at winning a trophy next season in the Super Cup. I mean, it's very disappointing for me to watch. The lesser of two evils, though, for me, is probably Man United winning it, purely from the angle. It's not obviously no knock to Sav, it really ain't. And I'm sure he'll understand where I'm coming from here. As I've grown up watching Manchester United win stuff, a great Manchester United win stuff. I've also unfortunately had to watch really, really, really poor Manchester United win stuff in the last few seasons. So I'm sort of kind of used to it. Whereas, you know, if Spurs was to win that competition, I think it'd definitely hurt me a lot more than it would Manchester United side. So, you know what I mean? I wouldn't say hope, but I mean, the lesser of two evils. I'll be less upset, frustrated, angry, disappointed if Manchester United won it, I guess. I'm sure you'll understand that angle, Sav. If you lot won it, and honestly, I've got loads of Tottenham mates. I'll get pelters day after day. The United fans,
I'd be confused
if
you sat here saying that you would prefer Spurs to win it, if I'm honest.
Yeah. I've heard Arsenal fans say it, Sav.
I've heard Arsenal fans say it.
I've seen it. Yeah. I've seen it.
But yeah,
like, I think if just quickly on the point Sav made, I think it's actually right. If Spurs were to win it, I think you've got to get them small little details right, like peppering and Nana's goal is crap. Do you know what I mean? If you can tactically find them little bits where you can sort of get at them, this and all that. I know you've got a couple of players missing or whatever, but if you can get them little details right, you've got a chance.
Yeah, I think Vicario is a little bit. Do people not think Vicario is a little bit sus as well at the same time?
Not as bad as a
any cross that comes in the box against Vicario, the guy acts like he don't exist, or
I'd say set piece crosses, less so than open play crosses.
Yeah, well, I don't
like Vicario has its glaring weaknesses, but Onana's just a sack of shit. So
yeah, that's definitely true.
Say it as it is, Monts. Say as it is.
That's just what it is. He's a sack of shit. Like Onana doesn't excel in anything. Anything. Like at all. Doesn't excel. He excels in being a nice guy off the pitch. So I'll give him that. Like I heard he's a great person. But this is a game of football. This is a game of football. This isn't who's the nicest guy contest. Like, you know what I'm saying? So even in fact, you know what? He's not completely rubbish in every facet of the goal. He's got decent reflexes from time to time. He can pull off. I've seen him pull off some double saves. He saved a few penalties, but again, he's not like anytime you have a goalkeeper who looks as bad as Onana right now. I'll be real. The opposition always have a chance to win. I don't care how bad you are. Everyone is better than Man United, apart from the bottom three. Everyone. The only thing that saves you guys is that you guys have way more know-how than Tottenham Hotspur. Way more know-how on the big stage. That Casemiro is a man on a mission, and Fernandes knows how to pop up in the big moments. You guys have so much more of that over Spurs. So it depends who wins this game: the team who's better than the other team, or the team who knows how to win more than the other team.
Well, as the league stands, we're better than Tottenham by a point. So. Anyways,
this is a head-to-head. This is the league. You're not playing Brentford and Spurs aren't playing Palace because you both just would have lost those games anyway.
Oh yeah. So it works in kind of favor.
But this is a head-to-head.
I don't mind.
After tomorrow night, we'll overtake them. We've got a nice game tomorrow night, Spurs.
So did we? We got Chelsea.
No, Sava, you guys, I can't say anything about you guys winning games right now. Genuinely,
We've got Villa away. Listen,
Yeah.
Villa right now must be going, cool. If we can't get our goal difference up and roll Spurs over a few days for a cup final, mate, I've given up. I genuinely given up. Just Palace roll us over. Just roll us over.
Both of you are lucky. All the promoted teams have been shocking. Otherwise, you actually would be in a relegation battle, man. Do you remember the 40-point sort of thing years ago? It used to be that bit. You get the 40 points.
I'll give you a fact. No team in the last 10 years that's got relegated has finished above 37 points, and that was a stretch. But
so you're saying we're overperforming then? Spurs and Man United are overperforming. We're outperforming the relegation team.
I feel like different situations bring out different sides as well, to be fair. Like, if you know you're going into that scrap, I feel like players will definitely adjust, like, to play a little bit more harder, you could say, to make sure they don't lose certain games. I think so anyways. That's what always happens. It happens with relegation sides as well. I always say, when you're playing a relegation side in the final 10 games or 6 games or something, that's probably not a side you want to play. Crystal Palace, you remember the Connor Wickham articles, chronicles, sorry. Do you remember him? Always at the end, popping up. No one wanted to play Palace or Wigan at that. Like Roque Santa Cruz. Yeah, he's bagging against you, trust me.
Do you know what? I think the fact that whenever I've watched shows, whether I'm watching this show, Dan Potts' show, whoever shows it might be, right? And I'm seeing people talking about, well, no. 38 points wouldn't have got you relegated. And I'm thinking, is this how shit it's been? That we're actually going, no, we wouldn't normally get relegated. Just the word relegated in the conversation.
It's mental, isn't it?
Is crazy. And
I don't know how we live that one down, to be fair. Personally, I mean, for me, it's well,
you win the Europa League, and then
you know that meme with what's his name, Franco, wasn't it? Is it James Franco, whatever his name is, Dave Franco, and he's got the noose around his neck, and he says first time, and literally that me?
James Franco.
that's me. It's like, yeah, I think this is the first. But it is what it is. We'll see what happens. Yeah.
No, that's crazy.
It's
going to be interesting, though. It's going to be very, very interesting because it's like one of you guys is going to have a 16th place or 17th place to show for your whole season, and that's it. Like, that's it. The worst campaign for probably the next 50 years.
Yeah, really. That's cheeky coming from you, Reaper, yeah, because it's the same way when Chelsea were just down there hovering around 12th, 14th, 13th. You didn't get cooked on. It just got boring. I remember.
I made sure that I was foot on the neck with Chelsea because I had a feeling that people were going to try and forget about them because they're doing so bad. People were going to try and forget. I just carried on, foot on the neck, agenda and all, foot on the neck. That's the difference. I don't forget because when the next season starts, to act like it never happened. That's what we're like. That's what we're like. Act like this season never happened
all the time.
That's quite a funny take that you just made there, that one of them's going to have that sort of season, because literally as well, I'm sitting there thinking, literally the only way it gets worse is relegation next season. That is the only way it gets worse, man. That's how bad they've been. That's
but funny. We both know that's not happening though, man.
We need
not this time anyways. Never say never.
We need 6 points from our last 2 games to equal our worst ever points total in the Premier League.
Crazy.
That's mental.
And you got Villa away.
Villa away, Brighton at home. 3 games after
that would have been. It wouldn't have been. What manager?
You're getting 1 point. You're getting in 1 point.
I don't think we're getting in. I genuinely don't think we're getting in any points. If Villa should be ashamed of themselves if they don't beat Tottenham tomorrow night, right?
Same thing with Chelsea.
Brighton have still got European football to play for, and after that game, Spurs will either have the euphoria of winning it, or we will be absolutely down in the dumps that's our season done, 1 game to go. So for me, I can't see it, Mons. I'll take Mons. Do you know what? It's that bad. I'll take your point right now. I'll take it. 1 point out of 6. I'm taking it.
Wow, cashing out early. Cashing out.
Wait, did you see Crystal Palace rocked up to our ground, didn't get out of second gear, right? And had 23 shots at our goal. Had 2 goals disallowed, scored 2, should have had 7 or 8. And this is them 6 days before their FA Cup final, right?
Yeah, they got bigger fish to fry and they're still smoking.
Yeah. Aston Villa are fighting for, like, Aston Villa are, for me, I've said this all along, Kaz, you know I have in the chats and whatever. Villa, for me, I've said all season will get Champions League. I still stand by it, but they've got to win both games against Spurs and United to get it. So I can't see where we get a point. I really can't.
Technically, Villa could still finish second.
It's gonna be funny after we beat Chelsea. It's gonna be funny after somehow United beat Chelsea tomorrow with a rotated side. It's gonna be funny.
Where is it?
At Stamford Bridge, so it suits us better.
You're not. Yeah,
it's gonna be fun. I just said right now, it's gonna be funny. It's gonna be funny.
This is all on Chelsea Forest. Let's be brutally honest, right?
Chelsea
Forest could
and
end
if they
up
draw, then it's both of them.
knocking each other out.
When I say this now,
If they draw,
I'm gonna say this now. Don't be surprised. Somehow, you know how some results go just left and then left, like last week. Yeah, like I don't even think a top 6 side won. To be fair, did Liverpool win? I think only you won. Liverpool won or whatever. Against Arsenal. So
draw, wasn't it?
It's gonna like I can just see in a way, where Chelsea, Forest, Aston Villa probably all draw. All draw, and then it's like it goes down to the last day of the season just to make it a little bit more fun.
You know what's so mad as well? That if Arsenal actually go and beat Newcastle, Newcastle are in big trouble. You know, like big trouble.
Because Chelsea's got Forest. Remember, Chelsea's got Forest.
Like Newcastle, I don't think Newcastle will let that happen, but Newcastle will be in big trouble.
Well, they'd have Everton right on the last day of the season at St James's. You'd fancy them to win that to get Champions League football.
You say that we just seen City draw to Southampton. I just seen Leicester relegated Leicester draw to Nottingham Forest.
Yeah,
sure,
but
at this point, Southern, now I feel like I've seen it all.
Yeah,
I say I've seen it. I say I've seen it all, bro. Listen.
If Newcastle get
against
4 points,
Southampton is nasty work. That is diabolical.
Did you watch the game? City Southampton.
No, I didn't watch the game.
I watched it. I watched it, and it was. Yeah,
we've got Southampton away.
Was it a boring watch? Was it a boring watch?
Well, it was from the point of view that Southampton they stuck 10 men, as you would expect. They stuck 10 men behind the ball, and Man City just chance after chance, Ramsdale save after save, and they just couldn't score. But I still fancy City to get it. I still fancy City to get Champions League football and then go again next season.
I watched the Leicester Nottingham Forest game, and Leicester actually took the game to Forest. That wasn't a sitting back type of thing. They actually took the game to Forest, and actually was unlucky not to win at the end.
So it sounds like Man United versus West Ham. Lucky they didn't fucking concede 4 or 5 goals, but it happens, innit? It happens, bro. It happens. I don't even know how he even missed from 2 yards out, Højlund, but I shouldn't be surprised at this point anymore. They literally had 2 shots and 2 shots on goal and literally pretty much scored both of them. Love that. Anyway, smash and grab, innit, right? But anyways, what likes are real? Let's get into the chat for news. 127 likes. 666. What is this satanic fucking live now? What is going on? Someone either needs to leave or join right now. That is not on. 666 is crazy, but please smash the likes. It's super important. I could get a new subscriber. Mons could get a new subscriber. So could Sava. So could Aaron. Someone might support Spurs that jumps into this channel and says, "Oh, you know," and don't realize who Sava is. By now, I'm pretty sure they know who Sava is. But yeah, man. And also Aaron's on the way to what are you nearly on?
2K, the next one. Yeah, I'm over 1K.
Nearly on 2K. Yeah. Come on.
Yeah, we're going.
You only just joined. You only just joined onto the YouTube scene, innit?
Well, do you know what I mean? Like, thankfully, there's a few people that like listening to an Arsenal fan that talks sense rather than absolute giddy shit. So, do you know what I mean? I'll take that. And I mean, there's plenty of Arsenal fans that talk absolute waffle out there. So, you know, it's nice to be a slightly little bit different.
Yeah, Cass, we get cooked by the media every week. You and Spurs getting protected because of the pundits. If you lose to Dusty Spurs, you and Vulture Scams are cooked for life. Vulture Scams. Brother, like, you're a Liverpool Chelsea fan, right? Brother, respectfully, is he a Chelsea or you're Liverpool? He's Chelsea. You're Chelsea, yeah? Respectfully, no one even talks about you like that in the media. I'm going to be honest. When it comes to the media, it's Arsenal. Everyone knows it's Arsenal and Man United because that's the stories that sell the most and pretty much Arsenal at max. Man United will always do clicks. Don't compare me to you on a scale of who gets more abuse. Shouldn't be getting abuse or flipping criticisms as much as the next team do anyway. There's levels to this, man. Come on, man.
That's nasty.
Vulture scams is nasty work though. But what's it called? Frimpong. What do you think about Frimpong at right back, Seba?
Yeah, interesting. I always maintained that if Liverpool were going to lose one, it needs to be Trent and not the other two, because the other two are irreplaceable. But yeah, I think what we're going to see is this is going to be the stamp that this is now the time for Arne Slot to put his stamp on the team. And I don't just mean his tactics, I mean his players. You know, it's all well and good. He's won the league. Fair play. Hats off. They've been the best team by a country mile. But now let's see what's he got when he's got to start adding his own footballers to the team. I like Frimpong. Again, very attacking. He's very much a this way player, not a this way player, which Liverpool will be used to, having had Trent Alexander-Arnold for the last however many years. He gets goals. He gets assists. I like him as a footballer. But I do see him as a very different footballer to Trent Alexander-Arnold. I see him as a lot more of a direct runner with a ball, a lot of pace, getting down the flanks. So it's going to be interesting to see. He's not as good on the ball in terms of the passing and the creating as Alexander-Arnold. So I think we're going to see a different profile of player. Is going to have to mean only for me, it's going to have to mean a different profile of play, the way you play. You know, Alexander-Arnold gets on the ball. He likes to dictate. He likes to spray those 50, 60, 70-yard passes. He likes to, you know, ping the ball in behind. And Frimpong's going to run a lot more. So I think it's good. I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I like him. Suspect defensively, sure. But isn't every fullback in world football now like they don't seem to be judged by how good they are at defending anymore? It's all about goals, assists, getting forward. So, look, I don't know what the Liverpool fans think, but I think it's going to be interesting. But I do like him as a footballer. And look, last thing I'll say is this. Alonso's definitely got the best out of him. So why can't Slot? So yeah, I think it's a good signing. And for 35 million euros.
Even but 29
million a year pretty much as well, because it's a buyout clause that's separated into 4 payments.
The thing is as well,
Really?
Aaron. I don't know if you watch Frimpong. You probably have Euros, etc., etc. I think you watch quite a bit of football. To be fair, me and Mons were discussing it yesterday. I don't really want to have a repeat of opinion all the time, but there's no evidence to suggest that Frimpong would be a good fullback. So, but the thing is, Liverpool got this. If people don't know this, Liverpool got this AI thing, and I think not many clubs do. At that, because of thanks to obviously Michael Edwards, they got this AI thing where they can see how players would fit into a team and how it would kind of work with whatever strategies they've got going on, as in aka tactics and the yada yada yada. That's how they're doing a lot of their recruitment at the moment. From what I was reading up, right, which was I was thinking like, oh crap. So there's clearly they can see something that we can't see, obviously. But for me, regardless of what on paper what it says or whatever AI might say and stuff, I just personally just don't see it working out. Like for me, I feel like Liverpool will be dipping into the market again for
Like
another
that.
fullback. Yeah, they'll just dip into the market again for another fullback, maybe winter, maybe or if not next summer, and they'll probably use Frimpong obviously when Salah goes to AFCON to Morocco, and probably say and then probably see like, oh, this guy's pretty decent there. You know, he can cover. That's the way I kind of see it. That's how I reckon it'll go down. Not that Liverpool are going to do bad or anything. I just think that's how it's going to go down. That's it. That's it, really.
What don't you rate about him? What don't you rate about him?
No, mate. Going forward, being an old-fashioned direct winger, he's basically Aaron Lennon for me. It's like trying to put Aaron Lennon at right back. That's the way I view it. Do you know what I mean? It's like I think he has great work rate. He has the engine without a shadow of a doubt. But when it comes to tackling, interceptions, getting close to your man, I haven't seen it from him at all. Not at all. Blocks, sure. Anyone can block a cross, but not really. Not for me. I'm struggling at the moment, and that's why I kept asking Mons: is there any like rumors about any sort of potential tactical tweaks? You know, Slot he's clearly intelligent. He clearly knows what he's doing. I wonder if there's going to be a bit of a change in the system where Frimpong's allowed that space to go forward where someone else might cover that kind of area. Maybe a new centre back might come in and can do that. Like you see when Timber goes further forward or whoever on the left hand side goes further forward for Arsenal. Look how good Gabriel is covering wide spaces just by himself. You know, it might be a little bit more attacking from Liverpool next season.
To be fair, go on, Monts. If you want to go, yeah.
No, I was just gonna say with Frimpong, like whenever I've seen him play, he reminds me of Raheem Sterling, but not now Raheem Sterling, by the way, not today's Raheem Sterling. Like in terms of the way he kind of like dribbles with his hands and like dribbles, the way he looked kind of off balance, but he's not off balance. He has a very like unique way of kind of dribbling, and his delivery isn't too bad. He does remind me, obviously, as a right wing / right midfielder, but the more you kind of watch him, he's not as bad as everyone says defensively. And when you're as fast as he is, when you're really, really quick, it can bail you out in more situations than being slow and a little bit better defensively. That's what I would say from a Liverpool standpoint. Sometimes we are going to be defending with a high line, and someone who is as fast as Frimpong is going to help, because Trent obviously isn't necessarily, slouch. He's not slow, but Trent does struggle to get back from certain positions. I think just having someone who's naturally faster anyways will still work out. Like, I'm not going to say like Kyle Walker, because Kyle Walker, yes,
he's actually strong.
Yeah, Kyle Walker's got a build where he's strong and quick, so he can just lean. He can kind of usher you out of play without having to be good at defending at all. You know what I'm saying? I think Frimpong has pace to recover, but I don't know about whether he can kind of outmuscle certain players. I'll have to see. Maybe I haven't watched him enough to say that he has a very strong core and he has that core strength. But for me, I still feel like I need to see how it works. It just does. I'm not completely convinced.
We need preseason. We need preseason like ASAP.
From an outsider looking in,
I'm not going to force myself to be like, oh my days, what a signing. I'm not going to say I'm not going to walk into this saying he's a scrub or what not. Like, it's just difficult for me to say that this is the right move. I can't.
He might. Who said that he comes in and starts as well at the same time? He might just be the first one to get through the door because it's an easy release clause.
By the way, going forward, I think he's fine. He's fine.
Yeah. Imagine him against certain left backs in this league. I wouldn't say the fullback quality in this league is amazing. You know, like look what Elanga does to certain sides.
Yeah. Going forward, because
Frimpong's a much better dribbler than Elanga. Yeah.
He's not gonna swing like a 30-yard bender like in between both centre backs 24/7 like Trent, or switch it on the half volley with his weaker foot. But what he will do is he's gonna take the ball past you. His take on rate's pretty good. Do you know what I'm saying? He can kick it past you and run if he wants to. And his delivery isn't like his delivery is not bad either. It's just not Trent's delivery. He's not got a bad delivery. So going forward, I ain't got a problem with him going forward. And I think also he'll provide an overlap, because Mo Salah, let's be honest, Mo Salah's not going to be doing much movement. Like, I'm not saying Mo Salah doesn't move, because he does, but I'm saying Mo Salah at times hasn't had the overlap at all, and he's forced to kind of create for himself. But I feel like with a player like Frimpong, he's going to be way more. He's way more. He's going to be more like Conor Bradley, who loves to overlap, as opposed to Trent, who won't overlap. He'll tuck in and try to dictate the game. Trent will overlap sometimes, but I think Frimpong's going to be consistently up and down, overlapping, providing that space, allowing Mo Salah to come more central. It's almost like having two right wingers and Mo Salah stepping in as an extra striker, being closer to the goal. So if it brings the best out of Mo Salah, then Mr. Slot, do you think, brother?
Yeah.
Do you think?
Listen, man, here's my take on this, yeah, from like an outside, like looking in. I don't think it's that much of a fish out of water, because with no disrespect to Trent, let's not pretend that he was a phenomenal defender. He was good going forward. But so I don't actually think having someone like a Frimpong, okay, he might not be phenomenal defending, but I don't think Trent was either. So it's not as if you're going into new territory with like you've lost this excellent masterclass defensive right back and now you're just putting in a winger converted. Do you know what I mean? It has to be sort of said that it's not a fish out of water sort of scenario. I reckon if you was to sort of have it set up like your right-sided centre, whether it be Kanate or whatever, just make sure and he covers that position. Maybe one of your central midfielders just sort of slot into that right-hand side while he's bombing forward, overlapping with Salah. Salah can overlay the pass and let him do his thing. You've got an energetic winger who's pacey, bombing up and down that field. I reckon it could probably work. And let's also get this right. Arne Slot's not exactly averse to tweaking little things. He's done it just to win Liverpool the title this season, just tweaking little things. He hasn't overhauled Liverpool. He's tweaked things. It's worked, and it's won you a title deservedly, may I just add. As well, I want to add in there that you're saying about him going forward. Just this season alone, I think he's in double figures. I think he's got 10, 12 assists, 5
Who's
goals.
I think
This
he's
is
in the
Frimpong.
in the
Last
champs. Yeah, altogether.
Last season, double figures, I'm sure, in assists. I think he got about 14, 15 goals last season.
Yeah, he had
8 or 10.
yeah. He was cracked last season, but that whole Leverkusen side was cracked. He was used very.
There's
on
Liverpool in the
attacking
mug
side,
side, though, either. There's Liverpool in the mug side.
That's what
you know what I mean?
said. That's what I said.
He's hitting the numbers. I reckon if you get it right and you're able to allow that energy that Salah hasn't got anymore, but he's still got the output, we know that. But if you input legs into Mohamed Salah and a person and a right back in Frimpong that can also add numbers and assists, which look at his last 3 years, he's got an abundance. He's up there on the top tier. Inarguable. That's statistical facts. I reckon that could be dangerous as long as you accommodate for the fact that he's going to be leaving space. So obviously it may be a central defensive midfield does need to sort of tuck in a little bit. Maybe you need to go over as a right-sided centre-back to just sort of cover that little space. Tactically get it right. That right-hand side is going to absolutely terrorise people should they get it right.
Transition is going to be disgusting, isn't it?
Yeah. I think it's a really good signing.
But
I think we've lacked a few speed demons as well over our time. Like,
You've lost Trent. You've lost Trent
Lennon right now.
You've lost Trent instantaneously. You've lost Trent, and you look like you're instantaneously gonna replace him. And it's not like you replace him with a no one. I think it's a really good sign.
Because I'm a fan of Conor Bradley as well. I think Conor Bradley and Frimpong will be a decent set of right backs. So I think for me, I would have given Conor Bradley this season. I think he does deserve this season to be Liverpool's starting right back. But if we've gone and bought one, as I said, that doesn't bother me either. As I said, since Mane and Salah, when they were a bit younger, when they were both in their mid-20s, they were obviously both speed demons. Don't think we've really had many since. I don't think we've had many since. I think Origi was really quick before Funes Mori decided to break his ankle. What I'm saying? Before that. Yeah, Origi was crazy. Origi was mad quick before that happened.
I remember. Do you remember his? Do you remember? Was it Euros or World Cup? I can't remember which one. It might be World Cup. Do you remember Origi?
He got a call up really young. He
was cracked. That's how he got his move. I think originally in it because he was good in into the internationals.
Because Diaz is quick, but he's not like
he's quicker when he's dribbling with the ball.
Yeah, he's not lightning quick. Gakpo, I think, needs a bit. He needs to get going. He's more strides, like a powerful runner. Szoboszlai's quite quick, but he's again more of a powerful runner. I think Frimpong will come in and be like real scary, frightening pace. I just don't think you've had that.
I think it gives you options as well. I do think a lot of the times when football fans we think about, oh my God, this player's going to play every game of every season and you can only play one way. I think it gives you great options in games where Liverpool are going to dominate the ball, and teams are going to sit back more against you. You've got Frimpong who can fly forward, allowing Salah, whose legs aren't going to be there forever, to cut inside, spend more time in a kind of inside forward pocket with Frimpong going on the outside. That will be scary. Teams won't know, do I pick up Salah? Do I pick up Frimpong? In those games where you're probably going to be a little bit more under the cosh when you go into tougher away grounds, you can stick Conor Bradley at right back, who's more of a defensive right back, bigger, stronger, more powerful. You might even be able to play Frimpong on the wing and Salah can push inside. I think it gives options. Totally right.
And that's a really good point.
One thing I think that really Liverpool need for me is, you've gone and won the league, but I think what I hear from Liverpool fans, tell me if I'm wrong here, is that Liverpool fans are getting bored of every now and then we win a league and then we don't go and dominate. And I think Liverpool want their period of domination the way that City have, the way that United had, the way that Arsenal did back in the day, the way that Chelsea did.
The way that Liverpool did. In the 80s.
You did back in the day, but if you're going to do it again,
with Tottenham,
you need options. I think you need options. And Mo Salah for me, listen, Mo Salah's clinical. We know what he is, right? Mo Salah for me, the older you get, natural. We've seen it with Sonny at Spurs. Naturally, once your pace starts to go a little bit, defenders start to figure you out. So I think putting him inside, getting him nearer the box, nearer the goal, that's where he wants to exist. Frimpong on the outside, I think it's a good signing. But again, what people will do, they'll give it 5 games. They'll wait for the first time that a goal is conceded down your right back area, and they'll go, Frimpong, what a shit signing. He's terrible. Let him integrate. I think it's a good signing. I think it's a really good option.
He's homegrown. He literally raised up in Manchester. He's from City's Academy.
It's a good
Do you know
signing.
what I mean? You know what? Now you said it like that as well. Yeah, I think I'm a little bit more so. This is a brilliant.
Options.
This is probably a brilliant signing. You know, like honestly,
man said it, mate.
You know what?
Yeah,
I'm not gonna
Liverpool
lie. You know what? It's so, you know what? I'm so fixated on him being a star, and we know Bradley will probably get injured as well because he's proven to be a little bit injury prone at the moment. But it's true. Liverpool are going to dominate.
When they play Real Madrid,
games.
Right, if Liverpool next season's Champions League, right, you know you're playing against Real Madrid, you know you're playing against Bayern Munich, and you're up against wingers like Elise, Mbappe, Vinicius Jr. Yeah, I want Conor Bradley in there, right? I want Conor Bradley. But Liverpool are playing teams at home that they should be beating. Yeah, I want Frimpong. He's attacking. He's exciting. And you know what? In this day and age, Kanate, Van Dijk, these guys come across, they cover. Gravenberch, McAllister, they come across, they cover and do that work. I just think everyone's looking at it too linear here. I think it's a great
I think
option for Liverpool.
It's true. It's true.
Can I,
35 million euros.
Can I add something onto that, Sab?
Go on.
Can I add something onto that, Sabo? You make a great point, about being able to change defensively against Real Madrid. Let's just say they are playing Real Madrid in a knockout tie, and they've chose to go for Conor Bradley, and they're 1-0 down. Bring on Frimpong at right back to cause some havoc. Do you know what I mean? He can change a game, not just you. It's like what you quite rightly say. You can chop and change right backs for styles. If you want to keep it tight or whatever. But if you're 1-0 down, what a great option to bring on. Do you know what I mean? At right back. Yeah, it's
a low risk. Yeah, it's true, Liam. It's a low risk. It's a low risk signing. Frimpong to replace rubbish Elliott. I don't think Elliott's rubbish. I just don't think he's been given opportunity last year. I don't think he's Slot's kind of mold of footballer that he might like a little bit more than a next. And if you're going to be,
I'll have him.
I think he likes technical players, but I think he likes, if you're going to be technically great, technically good, you better be technically amazing. Like Verts, who's also quite strong on the ball as well. He doesn't really get shifted. Harvey Elliott might do. I don't know. I like Elliott. I never used to. I think Elliott's a good player. I think he deserves a chance. It just probably won't be at Liverpool. He's linked. I saw he was linked with, which I don't agree with Wolves. I think that's a step down too far considering the position they're in, to be fair. But yeah, no, Frimpong, you sold me on the Frimpong thing for sure. It's true. When you do dominate games once, which you do already in control, you might not need Conor Bradley. You need someone that's going to hold the whip. So Salah could be the extra body in the box.
Conor Bradley does hold the whip, though. I think he's still quite. Conor Bradley is.
He's quite good. But the thing is, naturally, if you want someone that's a little bit more attacking, that might want to take on a man a little bit more smooth, you might have Frimpong, who's probably more more used to that. It's true, impact player as well. Might even begin where you see Bradley and Frimpong on the same side. So Salah can go up front. We've seen Slot change the striker over with many different players. We've seen putting Luis Diaz up front. I'm pretty sure he wouldn't mind Salah up front as well at one point. If it requires it. If it requires that,
He's played up front in the season. He's played up front in the 21-22.
We've seen it.
22-23 season and 18-19.
Saw it last year as well, I think. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure he played with the two up front. Yeah. Of course, I think Salah's later in his career will probably end up front, anyways, unless you go get like a bad boy striker. Ekatike is one of them options. I really don't want you to get him because the link up was just easily. I think when it comes to link up, Ekatike might be. He's probably one of the best, even though he's young. I don't want to overrate it, but when it comes to his link up play, his link up play is phenomenal.
Who?
Phenomenal. Ekatike, man.
Yeah,
his link up is like, I think he needs to be a little bit more acute in the box, let off more shots because he doesn't do that enough. But even then, he's got an eye for goal. His precision, he's got great precision. He's going to be a wicked player. He gives me Isak vibes a little bit, but a lot less pace. But Rodrygo has come up and popped up again, and so is Cherki. Rodrygo is obviously I don't know what you lot feel about Rodrygo. I know Arsenal were looking at him. I think Arsenal were still looking at Nico Williams as well. But the name that got tipped today again with Liverpool, and you've been linked with him for that last 3 years, bro. Rodrygo, I feel like he's going to go on the move. I think it's time as well. But where does he fit into this slot system for now when you got Gakpo's and Diaz's as well? Like if one of them don't go, I think he's a left winger more than he's a right winger, and then he's still got Salah. He can play attacking mid though. I mean, I don't know if that's where you'd want him. Does it make sense? Does Rodrygo make sense?
The winger thing for me, I'm not too fussed about the winger. I'd rather look towards a striker. Listen, if Rodrygo was ever to come to Liverpool, great. But for me, needs to be a striker. Because I think Luis Diaz and Gakpo together as a balance is fine. I'm not got an issue with it. But I just feel like one of them would have to leave for us to look at a winger. I just don't think there's no... What's the point of having 3 left wingers? Unless Luis Diaz is going to be... do you know what it is? I don't know. Is the manager going to look at Luis Diaz now as a false 9 more than a left winger? Or does he... Because if he buys a striker, that reduces the minutes of one of them. So, yeah. And also Núñez has to go. He better go. He needs to go. He must go. He will go. Sorry. So, yeah, I think Rodrygo, for me, would only have to come in if we lose Núñez and the left winger. So yeah, the Rodrygo one's very interesting. I just feel like he's been linked to Arsenal. He's been linked to us. He's had a few links. I think a loose link to Chelsea as well, I believe. I think he's just one of those players that's always going to be linked away from Real Madrid because he can't be the main man at Real Madrid.
Yeah, that's true. And also with Cherki as well, man. I come out yesterday. I don't know. Look, sources are sources and whatever, but we have to speak on it. You are looking at Wirtz, yeah? Cool. We can all agree they're looking at Wirtz. They might want to do a deal. Does he go there? Maybe not. But on that same shortlist of the mold of Wirtz, which I think you're trying to look more of a playmaker, Cherki in that attacking mid role. We're talking about a strong ball carrier, by the way. He's not a chump. He fits that mold. I think he fits Liverpool like a glove right now. Someone who's got a point to prove, ready for a top side. You know, someone's going to be a bit more of a playmaker. He's got a great eye of the needle pass. I'm not going to lie. Like, I think you and Dortmund are and obviously I know Man United had off links, Tottenham as well. You're in the Sava. I think you want him as well for that right hand side potentially. But
I'll say this from now.
If Liverpool come in for him, I don't see why he doesn't go to Liverpool. I mean, you've got the French connection over there.
Listen. This one here's for Ryan.
Is that why you're wearing the shirt? You know what you are? Hear me out. You are a monster. Do you get it? Monster.
Don't worry, listen.
It's in the name. It's in the damn name. Monster that's new months.
Listen, all I'm saying is that I know the Wirtz thing's going around right now with Liverpool, but don't be surprised if you see a little Ryan in it. You see little Ray. I've already got the names ready. You know what I'm saying? It's just don't be anything to get someone like that 10. I'm there for it.
You ain't got the name on the back of the shirt though already, have you? Please tell me.
No name. No name on the back of the shirt. No name.
Yeah.
Yet I can go get a print.
That's the key word, is it? Yeah.
Yeah. So listen. I think having someone like Frimpong at right back allows us to move our creative reliability back into the 10 again. You don't look to Trent to be our creative spark, but if you, as I said, now that Trent is gone. Now it's all about where is that creative spark gonna come from?
That's why you're probably looking at that kind of attacking mid. It makes sense.
Yeah, that's why I feel like we're looking for an attacking mid that can work because McAllister.
I hate you lot.
McAllister's a very good. No, McAllister's a brilliant creator, but he's plays in the pivot, so he has other things he needs to do.
I hate you lot,
other than create. So creating can't be his first port of call as a player. He plays in the 6 in the pivot. Well, 6/8. So. Yeah, man, we need that number 10. You see what you're doing? Now he said we. He's trying to say we, like he's trying to do the French thing as well. You're a nasty guy, bro. I know. Listen, the bottom line is, you lot know me. I would have liked to. We didn't even need to spend money on Frimpong. We could have just put Szoboszlai right back and then bought a 10 in anyway. But listen, if you come on to do it this way, I don't mind either.
You know what? Yeah, mate. If you get the right back, I know it's easier said than done, but if you get the right back, the right 10, and the right striker, Liverpool. They could be
they're already looking at Kirkhead. Remember, they're looking at
and the right left back because Robbo's cooked. So we need to get the right left back as well.
Yeah, and probably priority is more right. Obviously,
probably one more centre back as well for me. I still feel like we're one centre back injury from being real vulnerable. That's my opinion of it. you know, and I think centre backs these days are quite hard to come by. So, you know, I think obviously the Housen's gone to Madrid. So Arsenal, Liverpool, and Chelsea have significantly missed out.
Throw Newcastle's name in there too. They want to act like a big club. You got rejected like a big club. There you go. Done.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But by the way, like, listen, there's a number of 10s that I feel like available. Xavi Simons, Florian Wirtz, Ryan Cherki. All three of those for
available.
me. Available. All three of them are available.
I think Xavi Simons is one to look at as well for you lot. And it's easy.
Yeah, let's just call off with the Dutch here, Dutch there, Dutch everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta do it, man. If he's available, he might suit you lot, man.
I hear it. Let's just be a bit multicultural, just simply because, like, if we bring in too many Dutch players, don't want to turn into the Dutch national team, and you know we all know the Dutch weaknesses.
But you can have the best ones. You have the best ones.
Can I counter that? Can I counter that? We had a lot of the French team, and we won. We won a lot of stuff. Not
wait.
But France was winning.
Come on, we had a predominantly French team. Come on, man. We had Petit, we had Vieira.
But the Dutch ain't predominantly winning everything. They're not predominantly winning anything.
They're getting better though. They're getting better.
The national team's winning something. We said having a squad full of the same nationality. There's a difference.
Yeah, the Dutch side are definitely getting better though. A lot of them are up and coming.
Yeah. The Dutch have a decent. They got a decent side, to be fair.
Yeah, and to be fair,
nothing wrong with that, bro.
It's only how many Dutch have you got? Van Dijk, Frimpong when he joins,
Gakpo,
the manager,
Gravenberch.
Yeah.
Now Xavi Simons. That's like 6.
Oh no, you let that young defender go, didn't you? Van den
Berg.
Yeah. Good player.
He's actually had a decent. He's actually had a decent season.
I'm gonna say this again. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I said to you yesterday, Van den Berg's. I think he's had a good season for me. He's gonna get better. I think Nathan
on one of them though.
See Nathan Collins. I think Nathan Collins is so underrated.
Kears was saying that.
I don't know why top sides are not looking at Nathan Collins. The guy's like 6'5". He's a brick house. He's everything that people think that Branthwaite is.
Oh yeah, Hato as well. No one we've been looking at.
Joe Hato. Yeah, you and Arsenal are looking at him. I think Nathan Collins is wicked. Now, if you want someone that's experienced, I think don't look past this guy. I think he plays good football as well. Like he's not a scrub.
You're about to see the merry-go-round, aren't you? Like, Houston signing for Real Madrid has now started the merry-go-round for centre-backs everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Everyone needs centre-backs. Everyone needs playmakers. Everyone needs goal scorers. That's just the way it is. You're going to see Mark Guehi. He's going to be on the go because I think he's got 1 year left on his contract. That's then going to start. Right, whoever doesn't get Guehi, where are we next going? I think it's good. I think this is going to be a brilliant summer.
It's funny you say that. Now, Real Madrid are not getting Saliba no more, and they're looking to and they're about to time down to a potential new contract. Oh, trust me, there'll probably be a release clause in there of something stupid like 150 million.
I wouldn't say like aren't getting him anymore. Like that contract could be we gonna get
at the moment, But at the moment, obviously, Arsenal looking to tie him down to a new contract. Whether that happens or not, I don't know, but.
The same contract that Cunha signed.
But the thing is, that's a small release clause. Like they're not going to accept 100. I'm telling you now, it'll probably be like 150 million if you want to get him. I think so. Next summer, if you want to get him or the following, and it'll probably expire. Of course, look.
It gives the Kanate Hive a little bit of safe haven as well. So we got a little.
Arsenal might even do a release clause. To be fair, it's like who says that Saliba's just not happy where he is? He might like his. You might like where he's at the moment.
Let's not pretend the paper that the contract signed on is worth that much. All it does is it retains value. But if a player wants to leave, he's leaving. It's as simple as that. You know what I mean? It just retains value. If I won't get giddy. Of course, I want Saliba to stay. Of course, I do. He's got a great partnership with Gabriel. Centre backs, especially of his possible level, are hard to come by. Why would I want to? But at the same height, just because he signs a 5-year deal this year doesn't mean to say, oh, well, that's it. He's here for the next 5 years. If Real Madrid, or let's just say Housen has a stinker at Real Madrid, or let's just say Rudiger wants to leave and they still need to fill a void, Real Madrid come knocking next season. Yeah, Saliba, what you're saying, and Arsenal have been trophyless again. It means nothing. Yeah, we'll get just more money on it, but that's back to my original point. All I'm saying is
new contracts are brilliant for the club and brilliant for the individual, right? So like, earlier this season when Iriola was being talked about, leaving, blah, 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 the Bournemouth chairman comes in, ties him up to a new contract and people go, he's never going to leave Bournemouth. Of course he will. The Bournemouth chairman made it that, hey, Iriola, would you like an extra? I don't know what he's being paid. Would you like an extra 100 grand a week? Yeah, of course I would. Right, sign this. And if anyone wants to come in, right now, you don't have to give us $1 million. You've got to give us 8 million. I don't know what it is. 8 million. It safeguards everyone. But you're right. Contracts are. I wouldn't be.
The value is
Chelsea
in
always
credits
sign
dropped.
everyone to 8-year contracts. None of them are going to be there 8 years.
Yeah,
If a player wants to leave, Sav, if a player wants to leave,
course.
he'll leave.
Cool.
If Saliba wants to go to Real Madrid, let's say signs and goes next year, he can kick up the most absolute stink that he wants to, and he'll fucking leave. Ultimately, it's just, and that applies copy and paste to every single player that currently plays football as their trade.
Absolutely.
Player power. It's as simple as that.
Player power, yeah. 256 likes with 900 in the house.
Come on, man.
We get to 350? Honestly, it's been good last few days. But for anyone that hasn't, it's just a quick reminder. I haven't liked the video yet. If you don't mind doing that, hopefully you lot of. Actually, this has been Thursdays are quite calm, to be fair. So I know, and then Saturdays are like the total opposite, which is hectic. But come on, man. Look, Wolfie's not on the show today. You got what you wanted. Wolfie's not here. Yeah. Like yesterday, where he's just downplaying, like he's trying.
Sav looks too happy there, doesn't he? Running from ear to ear, isn't he, man?
I feel like he's slowly but surely been humbled a little bit. Listen, how many football fans go early? How many football fans go so early, like in November, December, January? I always think, wait till May to start your bracket. Wait till May.
Yeah.
Wait till May, man. Wait till May.
Yeah, he's quality, man. People take him way too serious in the comments, but obviously he doesn't give a shit. Look, they say, okay, why is Wolfie on every day? I'm like, well, he wasn't on Tuesday. He ain't on Thursdays nor Fridays. It's just that when he does make an appearance, it's like he's been around forever because it's like that. He's just ready to cuss your club or a certain transfer or whatever. Like yesterday, he was downplaying Liverpool yesterday, which was hilarious. But
isn't it funny though, right? How certain YouTubers can really put people off a team, right? So, for example, I've got nothing against Nottingham Forest, right? But all season you're kind of like begrudging them doing well because of Wolfie. Like you guys have got a gal. You guys have got a gal. Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong, you're Arsenal. I don't care, but there must be fans of clubs going, oh my God, this is just never ending. Like this is just, you could lose 12 in a row.
Do you know
you've been an Arsenal fan and nothing to deal with?
No one is better than us tactically in Europe, and you're like,
who would you say for Liverpool? Who would you say for Liverpool? I know there's one for Liverpool. Drifty. Him. Oh my God, Liverpool delude. No, I love Drifty. Drifty's quality, but he's a Liverpool delude, man. Honestly, him in versus Cal is top tier content. And then you just got Matt sitting there thinking like, guys. And he's like, you're not going to get worded.
It's almost like they planned it on their channel, isn't it? It's almost like they planned it to have two different opinions every week.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, that sounds like me and once every day. Madrid want to sign Dean Howson and William Saliba this summer. Romano. That's been taken way out of context, by the way, because what really was said was, and to my information, is that Real Madrid understood at the beginning of May signing William Saliba this summer was impossible. For Arsenal, he's a crucial player to discuss a new contract. Arsenal will have the ball in their court close to close their agreement, keep Saliba at the club and extend his contract. Real Madrid's position is clear. They will sign Dean Howson now, but Saliba remains a dream target. It's not happening this summer. People need to understand Madrid don't have big bucks to go and spend. The only way they do that is probably if Rodrygo leaves and for a good fee at that, because he's going to come on.
Have you seen
85 million minimum?
The 50 million for Howson. I think, is it pronounced Howson? It is, isn't it, right?
I thought it was Howson.
Howson? All right, Howson.
Remember, he's not Spanish. He's born in Spain, raised in Spain, but he's actually Dutch.
Yeah.
And what they say in Dutch is what they say, like Howson.
But the 50 million for him, they've already said he's going to be paid in 3 installments. It's not like Real Madrid are just going boom.
Yeah, so I think they're adding on.
Whacked down.
I think they're doing what United have done, like when you add on a few more million, and so you can amortize it.
No, but I thought that was in his clause anyway, though. Not just negotiating a new thing. I thought that was just 50 million paying.
I don't know. I've never known Bournemouth do that.
They 60 million.
Did they do that for you?
In 3.
Did they do that not for you? You had to pay the straight money up for Solanke, right? Same thing. But apparently, a lot of Bournemouth players got a lot of release clauses in their contracts. I'm pretty sure. Did you not have to pay all up front for Solanke as well? Same thing.
I don't know.
I know. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure.
All I
I'm
know
pretty
is,
sure.
all I know
I'm
is
pretty
a
sure
little sell on for
what
that
a bit.
one. Love, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
just looked at the signing and thought it
10%,
weren't good enough.
10% goes to Juventus as well. That's crazy. 25 million needs to be paid up front. So yeah, maybe they just worked it differently.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure. But
Obviously,
Saliba, I don't think Saliba goes anywhere. When does his contract end? Is it in 2 years?
2 years.
2000. So he could literally put pressure and then get sold next summer.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Saliba's just going to get. He's on 100, I think 190k a week now. Yeah, what he's going to do is get 250 minimum, absolute minimum, and then next year we'll just see where he stands. So he's got himself a nice pay rise. He's in a team that he's familiar with. It's cozy in London, and then if Real Madrid come knocking next year, he'll probably go there. That's probably what the case is, unless we decide to step up and.
I still think Gabriel. I still think Gabriel is the more important centre back, regardless. That's your guy. For me, Gabriel, and you could probably find another partner. Don't get me wrong, Saliba's wicked, in it, and it'll be difficult replacing him. But in the world today, and if Arsenal continues to do well, you'll be all right. I think you'll be fine. He's not had a great season for his standard this year, I don't think personally, but he's still top. He's still top. Doesn't mean he's not quality. He's still top quality. But yeah, last one is City are looking at this rebuild proper. Like they really want to revamp with stars, not just like your Mateus Nunes. They want stars again. They want people to replace the Bernardo Silva's, KDB. We spoke about, I don't think it was yesterday. Maybe it was the day before. I'm not too sure. But Reijnders is top quality, and it's like, why is no one else looking at this guy?
Can I jump in just quickly with this? Yeah. Why is Reijnders top quality? Because he's 27 in July. Yeah, he's 27 in July. He scored 15 goals this season. But the last seasons, I mean, if you look at his last 3 or 4 years, he's got significantly worse numbers than Odegaard. Why is he top quality?
Because
I seem to have a different opinion than everyone else.
Because he's a centre mid. So I think numbers isn't something that reflects his game completely. He's centre mid. He's had to move further forward because Benacer has gone to when he went to Marseille, but he went to the French league. So when Benacer left, Reijnders had to kind of step into that further forward position. But before that, he was playing predominantly as an 8. But the fact that Reijnders is technically good enough to play the 10, he could probably sit a little bit deeper as well. He's had to do that role a few times, especially
energy, tenacity.
Tenacity. What he done to Real Madrid this season, ridiculous. Like he's just someone.
These are individual moments.
You know what? You know what?
No, he's seen him long enough to go, whoa, how have City signed
If you liken him to someone, like someone just said in the chat now, he's like Gundogan. He's like Gundogan, but like
that's good. That's a good.
Like if you look at the way what Gundogan can do, Gundogan's technical enough to play in the 10, robust enough to play in the 8, and calm enough on the ball to dictate the game from the 6. I think that Reijnders has that, and I think it's good that he's 26. It's good that he's 26. He's regularly played in the Champions League, and it's not like he's
not been a part of a great flipping side.
Like this, I don't think there's any.
He's a shining light there. Not Leao. Leao's the Piri Rashford. Like yesterday showed that it's a scrub.
Can I?
Yeah, I feel like he's got into his box to box bag very well in it. Very well.
I feel like the problem is now is every time a club like City sign a player, everyone wants them to be absolutely world class, amazing. They're the greatest thing ever since sliced bread. But if you actually look at what Pep Guardiola has done throughout his career, it's very rare that he actually goes out and buys the best player in the world in that position. He normally buys from that bracket below with players that he thinks he can coach. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying they're not good players. I think Reijnders is a very good player, but Reijnders will kick on to another level with Pep Guardiola coaching him. You know, if you look through all of the players he signed, when he signed John Stones, it was, oh my God, John Stones, he's not that good. Oh, Sterling's not that good. Oh, Gundogan, can he hack it in the Premier League? Oh, Bernardo Silva. Oh, Rodri. Oh, people forget that when he signed these players, they weren't, wow, this is Mbappe levels. You know what I mean? Wow.
Haaland, though. Haaland, De Bruyne.
Haaland's different because Haaland.
Rodri.
Maybe
not so much Rodri. Maybe not so much.
Yeah, but Rodri, that's the point. Rodri wasn't.
I'll go back on that.
No, but Partey was the guy.
Sterling's the best thing on the wing.
Yeah. Hang on. Let me finish. Look, Rodri was quality, but no, I didn't see anyone in it. Like I watch all leagues. I didn't see anyone in this country really talking about Rodri. And when he first came over, I remember everyone going, "Oh, who's this guy? He's rubbish." Pep would have known about Rodri for years. Pep would have known. Hang on, I played in the same position as Rodri. I managed Busquets, who played in the same position as Rodri. I know what he can do. He worked perfectly for me. But when you look at when you look at what he does with players like Reijnders, they come in. He doesn't need to be the main man. They've got the main man. You've got Haaland and Rodri. They're the two main men, right? With De Bruyne going, right? People like Reijnders is what they need. They need midfielders that are good at everything. They need midfielders comfortable on the ball that can play multiple positions that Pep can get the best out of and rotate with. So I don't think it needs to be always, is he? I don't think he's the greatest midfielder I've seen, Reijnders. He's a very good player, very, very good technically. He's not there to score you 20 goals a season. He's there to grab, 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever. I think it's a really good signing. I think it's a really sensible signing. And then next year they're going to have options in midfield, aren't they? They're going to have Nico Gonzalez. They're going to have Reijnders. You're going to have Rodri back. You've now Mateo Kovacic, who I think is really underrated. You've got options. Pep doesn't often buy midfielders that aren't technically competent, that he doesn't feel that he can progress. So I think this is a good sign. I'm not. Look, you know me, guys. I don't.
Is it a great signing or a good signing, Sava? Is it a great signing or a good signing?
I think it's a very good. I think it's a very good signing. Great signings are now in the world of football. I don't think there's many great signings out there. If I'm brutally honest, I think Wirtz would be a great signing. Wirtz is a great signing. Other than that, I look around world football. Kaz knows my opinion on this, and I don't look at many players and go, "Oh my God, they've signed him." Yeah. I don't think they exist. I don't think they exist.
I agree with you. Yeah.
I think he's a very, very good player. But can I just last thing? Sorry, I'm aware I talked a lot there. We've got to remember as well, when Rodri is fit, it's very difficult for Man City to go and buy one. There is no midfielder in the world as good as Rodri, right? That's your first problem. No one you're bringing in is as good as Rodri. Second of all, Rodri is guaranteed to play every single game when fit. No one else is. So you need your Reijnders, you need your Mateo Kovacic's, you need these players that are very good, hold their own, but will rotate. And that's how Pep's always been. And I just think everyone thinks every signing is going to be absolutely magnificent. And I don't think they exist, guys. I can't think of top world-class centre mids anymore. Not really. Not any that where I go, wow. Not like Modric back in the day or Edgar Davids or Seedorfs. I don't see them out there. It's just my opinion.
You could probably extend that as well. So, I mean, I know we're not talking about the strikers, but you can extend that to the striker position. You're right. When you actually deep it over the board, Sav, you look at the strikers and I'm like, and I've said this on my channel before, just for Arsenal United. In 1999, Arsenal and Manchester United had more quality strikers in the world just in that season than everyone else in the league now. Everyone else in world football. The quality has actually gone down astronomically when you deep it across numerous positions. The strikers, the quality available out there is now pathetic. Well, actually, I've only ever sort of kept it to that. When I'm sitting there and thinking about what you're saying, yeah, the midfield, there ain't that much out there either, is there? Considering when you deep it to what we're grown up with. I'm 36, Sav. I don't know how old you are. You may be there or thereabouts the same.
I look younger than I am, I hope. I'm 42. Mate, listen, do you know what? I liken this. I liken this, right, Aaron, to, I mean, we talk about midfielders. You talked about the strikers. Listen, the striker pool is dead compared to what it used to be. I liken this to centre-backs as well and goalkeepers. If you look across the world, you're going, give me, I do this all the time. Kaz probably gets bored of hearing me say this. 5 players who score 25 plus every year for 5 seasons. There's 5 of them. There's Harry Kane, there's Erling Haaland, there's Lewandowski, there's Lautaro Martinez, and if you want to put Salah in the striker bracket, now name me strikers that do it every year. There isn't any. There isn't any. There's strikers that have had good years. There are strikers that are getting there, like Alexander Isak and Gyökeres, but the striker pool is dead. World-class goalkeepers. I don't think there's any world-class goalkeepers in the Premier League, probably other than Alisson, if we're going to be brutally honest. I don't think they exist. I think everyone's now kind of used to have really shit players and brilliant players. Now I think it's kind of like everyone coexists there, apart from the likes of Yamal, who, Rodri, so I just think Sorry, that's just my opinion on it. And
Yeah,
maybe
no, I
I'm a
agree
bit
with you.
older, and I don't know. It's just my opinion on it.
But we've watched football in the 90s though, Sav. We've watched football in the 90s, and the players across all the board were just so significantly better than the crap that we're watching now. Football was
Ridiculously
better. The individual quality was, I mean, probably significantly better if you deep it in every single position. I know we've gone off topic, but you're absolutely right, 100%.
Yeah, mate, Reijnders transforms their midfield. That's as simple as that. You know, I think Reijnders is a little bit like Pedri in the way he moves, but just not as good when it comes to probably the final third. But you put him someone next to Rodri benefits of someone like that. Simple as that. There's no way. And they, and when they're looking at Verts, they're trying to build this elite midfield again of having elite options. That's what Man City's always been there. Like, you think of the option. Let's say hypothetically they get Reijnders, they're going to bid for him soon, right? Then you've got Verts. Whatever happens there, we'll see. They could have
Foden fit into all of that.
Fight for your position, mate.
Yeah,
fight for your position. You've had a shit season. Now you've got to fight for your position. Do you know what I mean? And then they have Kovacic there. Then they got Nico Gonzalez. Then all of a sudden you've got a complete midfield again because Nico can do that Rodri role a little bit as well. And, you can even double pivot it up if you need to. Reijnders is a part of a shite AC Milan team, and yet he still shines the most out of that. Do you know what I mean? So again, and you probably can make that argument for maybe even Leao as well, because if you look at his last season compared to this season, it's night and day, right? But I don't like Leao. He's not my style of player. I don't like him at all. Reijnders is definitely my sort of player. I just don't think you get many centre mids like that. I think Reijnders as well gives me a bit of a McAllister feel to his game. But McAllister's obviously primed in the Prem.
Can I just say something about the Foden piece? I do feel football fans, we are very reactionary. I think we are very reactionary. We're talking about a guy who was the player of the year last year, who's played non-stop football year in, year out since about the age of 17 for the best team in the world, one of the best teams in the world, and the best coach in the world. He has a season where he's not as good. And let's be fair, that kind of coincides with Man City as a whole. And now I just see things like Foden's a scrub. Foden's not good. It's like, listen, cream rises to the top. Yeah. Class is permanent. Form is temporary. And what we do is we get these players who we don't even allow them to have a dip. We don't allow them to have a dip. And by the way, that Yellow Dean in the chat telling me that that's not true. Foden's never been a regular starter. Again, Yellow Dean, sorry, I'm going to pick on someone on the chat. Understand how Pep Guardiola plays. I never understand these people, a lot. Right? Pep Guardiola has his 3 to 4 that are his number ones in every position. Yeah. And that has been Edison, Ruben Diaz, Rodri, and De Bruyne, right? You could chuck Haaland in now, right? The rest of them, every game are rotated. It didn't matter if he had Mahrez, if he had Grealish, if he had Silva, they rotate every game. So when people are saying he's never been a starter, have you seen, sorry, I don't know if I'm being an idiot here. Have you seen Phil Foden's stats for a player as young as Phil Foden, right? That this man gets so much hate. It is unbelievable. Bearing in mind, he broke into the Man City team at the age of 17, right? When people are telling me that I'm wrong here. This man broke into a team that had options in front of him, like Mahrez, at the time, Sterling, who was firing, yeah? Silva, De Bruyne, right? The other Silva, but when he was still there. This boy has broken into that team, got player of the year last season in the Premier League, when most of these bigger stars, Pep Guardiola's going, you can go, you can go, you can go. He's kept Phil Foden all the way through. Look at the hate he gets because he's had a difficult season. I'm utterly bewildered by football fans. This boy, by the age of 24, has 313 appearances for Manchester City. People are telling me he's not a regular starter, right? Listen to this. Since he broke into the team at 17, this is the number of appearances in all competitions in every season. 26, 38, 50, 45, 48, 52, 46, with 97 goals. He's 24 years of age. How on earth do we downplay footballers like this? Sorry, I just think it's crazy. I think it's absolutely crazy how these people get talked about. Sorry.
That's all right. It's valid. Robert says, Monts, how is 150 million too much to ask? Too much for Isak, but your club is cool with 125 million for Verts. You need Isak more, no? Also, where can I go to kick ball in London?
Any sort of power league. It depends. Are you trying to kick ball 11s and kick ball 8s? Sorry, 7s or 5s? You need to be more specific with that. And listen, I think 125 million is a lot for Florian Wirtz, in my opinion, and 150 is astronomical also for Isak. But I feel like now that Trent's gone, the need for a creative spark is definitely needed. Like, we already have a serial goal scorer. We now don't have a serial creator. So we need. I'm guessing the club is prioritizing that more
Not 11.
in the 10 than up front. So yeah.
Not 11. The power league or goals. But
and I don't think. Oh yeah. Then Robert, then it's a power league thing. Power league
goals. But if you got a bunch of people you're gonna go with, or you're just gonna roll up and then just like tell people I'm about. That's some.
I'm not on that though. I rate that though. The man that just rock up to goals and say you need to play her. Hear that? There's loads based all over London. I don't think Wirtz would cost 125. I feel like because we're outside of the German league, it won't cost us as much.
Yeah. Big up B Winnie for becoming a gold member, supporting Never a Foul. So appreciate that a lot. Appreciate anyone doing them extra likes as well. Nearly on 350. And anyone that wants to subscribe to Sav's content, he's got 2 channels, by the way. Football Heritage TV. We've got Aaron Talks Arsenal. So if you want to hear more with Arsenal stuff, then you can obviously go subscribe there. Big Sixpence is around all the time, multi-club stuff. So if you don't know Big Sixpence, now you do. What is it again? I saw what you put in the chat as well. Where is this? So just to round the show off, nominations for Premier League Player of the Year is Gibbs White, I have no idea how, Gravenberch, Isak, Mbumo, Declan Rice, don't know how that's a thing, Salah, Virgil van Dijk, Chris Wood. Yeah, and that's it. I think you got to give that. Out of them names, you probably got to give it to Salah. Can
I just go on the Declan Rice thing just quickly, because that's ridiculous. I've only just heard that now. Declan Rice came back from the Euros playing terribly. Then Mikel Arteta, midway through the season, was playing him with a broken toe, and he was out of form. He's actually only been good for the last 2 or 3 months. That's ridiculous that he's made it over the season. I'm not going to lie.
I'm not going to lie. Partey's been better than this year.
Over the season. Yeah.
That is just, you know what? It's like they just wanted to throw in a couple English players in there just for the sake of it. Why is Gibbs White in there? Anyways, I can understand because manager nominations. Thomas Frank. What? Arne Slot. Pereira from Wolves. Again, what? Nuno and Eddie Howe.
Yeah, but you've got look, Kaz, when you're saying what, I think you've got to look at the difference, right? It would be very easy to just put in all the people who are at the top. But for example, if you look at what Vitor Pereira's done for Wolves, he's done
manager of the season, though.
No, mate, listen, I agree, but I think there's a lot of managers at the top that haven't done a great. If you look, the fall off from Arteta, huge. The fall off from Pep, huge. Maresca just can't be in there. If you look at it, I'm just trying to think. Man U's manager's not going to be there. Our manager's not going to be there. Thomas Frank, by the way, pound for pound, in terms of salary to points ratio, is the best manager in the Premier League, right? And that's why I think Thomas Frank, for me, doesn't get again. People will take what I'm about to say completely the wrong way because we're sensational, right? He's a very, very good manager, Thomas Frank, who does it with a very small budget and loses his best players every year. In the summer, right? I've got Spurs fans, Kaz, still 2 years later going, yeah, but we lost Kane. Yeah, all right, it was 2 years ago. Brentford are losing Tony and Raya in one window.
And probably in Boomer this
window
as well.
Spending any money. And then he going, don't worry, I'm going to develop Mbeumo.
That Igor guy got injured. Do you remember?
Yeah.
The guy got injured. I can understand Nuno to a degree, but he's about to bottle it, so he gives a shit. Now, Eddie Howe could have a strong finish. A very strong finish. But Arne Slot's come into the Prem. No one thought Liverpool were going to win the league, really and truly. A good 90% anyways, or more. He's won in his first season. I just don't see how you look past that. I just don't see how you know.
He's going to win it.
No.
Win it
For me, I don't know how you look past. You know what? If he's been around for a minute, then I can understand. But the fact that he's coming in his first season and won it, I'm sorry, it's slot. It's his first season, and he's had three of his major hitters having contractual situations as well to deal with, and probably trying to gain their respect to show he's the man.
Cass, can I say this? Yeah, just quickly. Then, do you reckon it's a bit farcical, the whole thing, because the team of the season should just be Liverpool? Then the manager of the season, because he's won the Premier League, should be Slot.
No, because individual
really
manager nomination.
But that's what I'm saying. Should there not be a I don't know what this is. It's just common. Should there not just be a subcategory then, which just acknowledges everyone else? Because Liverpool are the team of the season. Their whole squad. Yeah, their whole squad should be the player of the season because they've all.
I don't think so.
The manager.
No, as a team of the season goes. Team of the season goes down to the team of the year. As a collective, a team. They do get recognized, but team of the year is an individual position. It's not as a team collective. It's who's been the best in their position for me. And obviously, you're not going to put Robertson there, are you, as best left back? He's a part of the team, though.
I get that.
Most of Liverpool players would obviously be in there. You know, Salah, Van Dijk, Alisson probably again. He's been mint since coming back from injury. Trent, even though he's left, maybe I wouldn't put him there personally. I'd put Olaina there, but individually, I think that's a good battle, good shout. But Gravenberch, McAllister, I don't think how you look past them two centre mids. I mean,
I've gone around that the wrong way.
Got a great shout this year. But as a team collective, sure. But
yeah. I've gone around that the wrong way. What I meant to sort of say was obviously the team of the year is Liverpool. The manager of the year is Arne Slot. Obviously recognise the individual players, but then obviously recognise the other managers is sort of what I meant to say. Obviously, I'm not going to say all of the Liverpool players.
I think that's the whole point of nominees. I think that's the whole point of nominees, though. When you get nominated, I think that's recognising that they see your achievement of this season, considering your place. I mean, I don't think every year I don't know if you go look back at whatever the situations are of who's won the league, I don't know if they always get it. I'm not too sure if they always win the award, whoever wins the league, but because otherwise, what's the point?
No, it's Kaz, I'll make you right on that. I think the fact they're nominated, for me, you can, Eddie Howe could finish third and wins Newcastle their first trophy in however many years. Great season. Let's be fair, if Aston Villa finish 4th or 5th, plus they've got to the quarterfinals of the Champions League, semi-finals of the FA Cup, that's a good year, right? So,
and why isn't Emery in there? Emery should probably be in there. They're undefeated in like 22 games in Aston Villa as well. He should probably be nominated.
Yeah, but again, I like seeing people like Thomas Frank getting acknowledged. I think, when people say to me, "Oh, what's he won?" So, well, he's at Brentford. Like,
of course.
No one at the beginning of the season is going,
he changed his style
for the league, Brentford. So
he changed up as well. You got to remember he was defensive, and then now he's gone more attacking and possession wise. So, do you know what I mean? That's what you call success.
And he's a brilliant coach.
I think he's a good coach. Anyways, this is going to get redirected to George's channel, where you're going to find me, Sava, George, obviously, Saeed, Traps, and is there another Spurs fan in there that I've missed out? Is it Deji? Anyways, it's going to be hilarious. It's going to be hilarious.
I think it's Ashmatic. Isn't it?
Oh, Ash. So if we're going to go over there, let's go raid that up. Smash the likes on the way out. We're going to be live at once channel probably around 3-ish. I think about 3-ish, 3:15 as well. And we're going to do another live later on on top of that. So on that notice, let's go over to Jules' channel in a bit.